All right, so today we will dive into a powerful tools like Azure CLI and Azure PowerShell. So these tools allows you to manage and automate your Azure resources efficiently. So by the end of this lesson, you will understand the basics of both tools, and you should be able to create resources using them. We'll also perform, some hands-on lab just to create virtual machines. Um, Using both Azure command line interface and PowerShell as well. Now, what is Azure CLI or command line interface? That's a cross-platform command line tool that just provides a great experience for managing Azure resources. It allows you to create, manage, and delete, resources from command line or scripts. Now, um, if you want to install it in Windows, you can download and install the MSI package from Azure installation page. Um, or if you're using a Mac or Apple, you use Homebrew to install by running brew update or and brew install Azure CLI. And then in Linux, you can use the package manager of your distribution, for example, Ubuntu. Um, some basic commands that we can actually use on CLI is the AZ login that logs you into your Azure account, and AZ account set subscription that says it for subscription, and Azure group create uh, that can create some resources there. Now, Azure PowerShell is a set of CMD LEDs for managing Azure resources directly from PowerShell command line, and um, and it's designed to make it easy to learn and get started with managing Azure resources. Now, you can use PowerShell gallery to install the Azure module. So by running Azure uh, now let's go ahead into the lab. Now we're going to create a virtual machine using the CLI bash. Now I'm going to navigate to my Azure portal. What we need to do is to navigate. So we need to click on the cloud shell icon. So you'll find it on the top right corner there in the top navigation bar. And then just to access our CLI. And I think I might have had another storage before, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and select the shell that I want to use. So suppose I want to use bash because we're still gonna work on PowerShell anyway. So I'm gonna just select bash here, and then I need to select my mount storage account, and we can just apply and then select existing storage account. And then so I'm gonna go ahead and select my storage account, which is where is the one that I created now. So there we go. So this one here, and I don't have any file share, or rather what we can do, we can let Azure to create storage account for us instead of just creating a storage account. So we can actually let Azure create a storage account for us, and then we can hit next. And the only problem then now it's going to be in Western Europe, but I think it's fine because we just um, our main objective is not a storage account. The main objective is just to uh, be managed or manage to actually create. All right, so there we go. And let's see if we can connect to the terminal. And I'm just gonna try and make, or we can actually make this. Can actually maximize this. All right, and I just want to see if I can actually increase the text size so that you can see what I'm typing. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is to actually log in into, so we can just type the Azure login. So we need to log in into Azure by typing login. So it says there I should actually follow this and then enter that code. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow that. And let's just copy this code, copy, and then so I'm gonna just enter the code there, and then next. And of course, this is the account. Are you trying to sign in into Azure CLI? Yes, I'm trying to do that. And you have signed in into, so if we go back, then you can actually see that if we go back, I've managed to actually sign in into my Azure account. Okay, so let's say now you had multiple accounts. So you can just say AZ account set a subscription. If you had maybe multiple subscription, and you can actually you can set a default subscription if you have multiple subscription by just having AZ account set subscription, and then you can put your subscription there. Right, so in our case is actually free trial. Okay, now let's say we want to create a resource group. So the first thing that we're gonna create a resource group that we want to use. So we can say AZ group create, and then the name of the group will be just gonna say RG32, or I can just say RG new, or let's say just say hyphen new, because I've already have a group like that. And then we can also set the default location. So the location is going to be South Africa North, North, and then they should actually create a group for us, and then we can actually see that we managed to create a resource group with that name. Now let's say we want to create the virtual machine, so we can just say AZ VM create, then we can say a resource group, which is Simanga RG new, I think. Then the name of the virtual machine, we can just say, or we can just say web server or something like that. So it's going to be the name of the virtual machine. And then we can have the image that we want to use, image, and then we'll add the admin username. So I'm just gonna say okay, so, username, actually username, and then we will do the admin password. So I'm just gonna do, of course, you need to actually do a good password. So I'm gonna do password. Okay, let's go ahead and so the problem was the name. So if you check here, I messed up something there. So what we can do, I'm just gonna copy this and to a notepad because I'm not gonna type that again. I'm just gonna actually copy it to a notepad and then I'm gonna just fix the name. Okay, so the only problem was actually the name. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paste this so we can actually see here AZVM create resource group, and then the problem was this one, and then image, username, password, and the size as well. And we can go ahead and try and create that one. Let's actually do this. Yeah, and let's just go back there and say here we want Ubuntu server with Ubuntu 2204 and 2204 because they show us all the available images. Let's try and do that. The following arguments are required: the name, but I thought I did create the name. Let me see. Oh, I see again. See, here's a problem that I keep on making, the error that I keep on making. So we must actually do that as a create resource group. And then the name, Ubuntu, admin username, admin password, the size, PS1. Okay, that's fine. And let's just wait. It should be fine now. We're not getting any errors, so that tells us that it should be fine now. Well, let's just wait for it to finish. So normally it takes quite some time to, because remember it has to create network as well in the background. All right, so there is my you can actually see my server there. So here's my public address. So what we can do, we can actually copy it, and then I'm gonna open and see if we can access our virtual machine. Okay, so here we're gonna SSH, and then username at that IP address, and then let's see if we are able to and then I need to provide password. Remember, password was password with an exclamation. Oh no, it was actually password 123 with an exclamation. So it's password 123 with an exclamation. And there we go. I'm in my web server there, or deploy using the Azure CLI.